I don't think I'm gonna. Thank you very much. I don't think I'm gonna do a regular intro for this one because
it's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's superhero Slate. It's a modern podcast where we talk about everything that's great, like movies, TV, superheroes. It's superhero Slate. Oh yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Superhero Slate. We are doing a very special recording from C2E2. As usual, I'm Chris Dillard. I'm here with several other people, and this is
Adam Niemiec,
Brian Smith,
Greg, Roberto Mantica.
Okay, there we go. So yes, we have Adam, Brian, Greg, and Roberto, and we're just kind of winging it here in Greg's place, as you would say. So we just got seen Shazam 2 weeks early. This is my first really strong introduction to Shazam. I know a little history about the comic character. Have you guys ever seen or heard of Shazam before?
Very little knowledge prior.
Yeah,
Not much.
I run across the comics early on, back when it was way before I ever had interest to dig into anything. Mm-hmm. But I specifically just remember having a Shazam comic where he was like fighting dinosaurs and things like that. It was just like off the roll. Everything that you could imagine was happening in one little comic about this brand new person. It's the only one I ever had, but it was something that always like stuck with me. And like later on down the road, I got more interested in a little bit more of his backstory, but it's everywhere. It's like all over the place. So
yeah, Brian will attest to this. Shazam used to be called Captain Marvel, ironically, and Captain Marvel is also a Marvel character that just came out at a movie last month.
I actually told the concession stand guy that I was going to see Captain Marvel on my way in, and then corrected myself, and he did not care to hear the explanation. But yeah, I went all into how we're here to see a preview of Shazam.
I was talking to I was waiting for my pretzel sticks, and the lady behind me was like, "Oh, I'm here." I'm like, "What are you here to see?" She's like, "I'm like, "Is your movie at 7?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "What are you here to see?" She's like, "Captain Marvel." I'm like, "Oh, Shazam," and she's like, "Captain Marvel." I'm like, "Oh." Yeah, really, Captain Marvel was going on at 7. So
to be so young and unknowing.
Exactly, right? I think my first introduction to the character Shazam was actually a story called Kingdom Come.
That's the one.
Yeah, from the 90s, where everyone's afraid of this guy because he's essentially Superman power, right? He's like Superman level. But like when he grows up, when the young Billy Batson grows up, he just looks like Shazam, but he doesn't have any of the powers.
Okay, so that's a question I had off the bat. Like, has it always been a kid?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's always been a kid utilizing the powers of the 6, 5... How many words are in Shazam?
Oh.
6. Each one stands for an ability he had, as he said in the movie. So.
Did not pick up on that.
Oh, also, there will be spoilers in this. There will be spoilers for anyone who doesn't know. But yeah, so S is Solomon. H was Hercules. A was... One of the A's was...
Ares?
Oh.
Was
the
it?
speed of Ares, and I think it was one like the wisdom.
Well, the speed of Mercury is the M.
It was like the
endurance
of
Z was Zeus.
Yeah,
Apollo.
Solomon.
Wisdom was Solomon. Yeah, and then A was I think something, was it Achilles, something like that? The tacticalness, or I don't remember.
What's the one?
You know, I have Google right in front of me. Like, I'll just look this up.
They've got internets today. Yeah, we can do that.
So each one stands for his abilities. That's why he found out what each ability was as he kind of went through them. Because he's channeling the powers of these elder gods through him. And they kind of touched on... Did you guys see Justice League? Anyone here see Justice League?
Yeah, I didn't.
I did not.
Okay, you
really?
did?
Oh, yeah.
You did. So in the battle... There's a battle in Justice League which tells the history of the world. There are like 2 Shazams flying... Like 2 Shazam people flying around in the old battle. So, so Solomon, Hercules, Atlas... Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury.
Achilles, okay.
Yeah, and Atlas should have made sense because one of them was holding the thing.
He holds that boss up very much like that. Yeah.
And the Ferris wheel, too.
Yep.
Yeah, so definitely that. So this movie introduced us to Billy Batson, who was looking for his parents, mother
mostly.
Yeah, and his new foster home full of awkward kids. And he gets chosen to be the totem or chosen one.
Yeah,
he was
chosen
champion.
Yeah,
like
but
it was out of chosen one over and over again. Like a lot.
It is out of desperation.
Yeah, really. Like you're the last one. The what's his name? The actor, the other guy.
Zachary Levi?
No, the evil one. He was Dr. Savannah, but I forget what his name was.
Oh,
he stole the eye and got the blue eye. So you're like, oh no, we gotta watch out for the blue-eyed guy.
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci. I'm gonna
Or
throw that
Ben
out there.
Kingsley.
No, he
Mark
Mark Strong. It's Mark Strong.
Yeah.
Who was also Sinestro in the Green Lantern movie. So he's
Yes,
he's
he
had his
was.
toes in several superhero movies. Kingsman. He was in Kingsman.
as
1 and
well.
2.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But
I didn't see any of this.
Greg, you're going to be our guy on the street here. Did
Soul
you?
of the team.
But the wizard, I noticed they cut it differently. You could actually see his face in this. You can't see it in the trailers.
Yeah.
So he's played by Jim Hanshu, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain Marvel as Korath.
Oh.
He's in Aquaman as the. You guys, anyone watch Aquaman?
I have not seen it yet.
Okay,
I will.
you too. There's a green fish. There's a green fish guy who looks very fishy, and he gets killed like almost immediately.
Yeah.
That's also him as well. And then also back to Captain Marvel. So he's like been in
He's
more.
He's
comic
had
book
his,
movies.
his business in a whole bunch of worlds here.
Yeah, I think he voiced somebody else recently as well. So like he is. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. But he was a wizard who was going to choose Thaddeus Savannah, but he was tempted by power and.
See, I thought they had him in the shadows because it was going to be Shaq. You were going to realize. Oh, it's actually him. We're going to see
It's
him
not
in the light.
Shazam, it's Kazam. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's,
What do those letters stand for? That's a whole different show.
that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
I felt
the
like
K stands for Kobe. I know.
The wizard was just a little anticlimactic to me. I almost felt like it, and maybe it's just the way that the costume looked, but it looked like an SNL skit. Like when he first walked out, I was like, okay.
He was a little, like, very well kempt in the hair situation.
Yeah.
Like, everything was like, it looked stiff and brittle
There's
like a
something
broom
that
on his
didn't-
son's head.
Yeah, he didn't look old.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he didn't look aged at all. He was very pristine for being there for, as long as he has been just chilling. But yeah.
I also thought he would last longer than just a couple seconds once he gave the powers over as well.
So he'd been in there forever, basically.
For a long time.
As long as he hadn't dropped those things. So is Shazam going to have to be in that lair around the clock?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because that wizard was alone, and Shazam, as we find out and throughout this movie, at the end of the movie, has like 6 other.
Right.
Or was he there
Power
just because he was so old and his powers were starting to wane?
Yeah, like was he just? Yeah, he had this. He
I
had a
just can
focus.
only
He wasn't as
protect and
strong
focus
as
here.
a youthful.
Got it.
I
Okay.
know Shazam's supposed to fight the 7 deadly sins, but I don't get what the wizard was doing or why he had to like hide there at the beginning when the sins were in the statues.
Right.
So that was.
I mean,
a question I
had they had previously trapped is like what I would assume.
Had they tried pushing the statue over? Aha, got it.
That's why they wanted kids there,
Right.
Yeah.
making a mess.
He was
Yeah.
waiting for somebody pure of heart to not be pure of heart, to get tempted by that thing, and he had to be there to prevent it all in the first place.
Yeah, and then send him away. Like, don't touch the blue girl
Basically.
thing.
He was just tempting bait all the
He was
time.
waiting on a
Yes, he
screen
really
play.
got off to that. So.
Yeah, and he sent out a bunch of little fireflies to find a bunch of people, which we never saw happen actually all around. Like no little golden glow
I
spark
was kind of
found.
hoping for that as well. Some sort of across the Earth, maybe not global shot, but something where we see like, our Earth as we know it is now cast with something that is searching for this person.
It's like a more localized Green Lantern. Like the rings go out and find the people.
Oh yeah.
But it's like it wasn't like these little fireflies. But we never saw them choose any of the people. Apparently, they were researching people with mass hysteria, which was kind of just a little dropped out of hat too, like the Savannah
Yeah.
research. Savannah's backstory really wasn't well done.
I didn't get it.
No,
Their name
I-
was plastered everywhere like the big bad corporation, but I didn't even see what they were corporating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
They're
was
just
very
bad.
odd.
It was inherent.
It was very much like 80s, this is a power business suit meeting, and we're all very important.
Yeah.
And you're not a man because you're not in this meeting, kind of thing.
There was a lady there, but she definitely gave some eyes like,
Yeah.
this is bold.
The dad offered to give him like power and money, but it seemed like he was already running experiments.
I
and-
honestly thought the dad was already going to be dead.
Sure, I was surprised
Like,
that was still
that was
alive.
one of the least justified "I'll give you money" kind of scenes because literally he's staring in the face of these sins that have been embodied. And
Yes.
It's like, you know what he wants? Cash.
Money.
Like,
I'll pay you. No, I'm going to kill you
But-
with that sin.
They're like, you have 7 deadly sins. Which one can we hit you on the nose with the hardest? Like,
Yeah.
money? Oh, that's his greed. Yeah, we know
Yep.
now.
yeah.
Do you want a cheeseburger? It would have been gluttony at that point. Like, it would have been like, do you want girls? Lust.
Yeah,
So,
it was. They definitely led you by the nose on that.
I will
Pretty
say,
harsh.
I'm glad they didn't release any visuals of the 7 Deadly Sins before now.
Yeah.
Because that was a cool surprise.
That was.
Yeah.
However, much like all of DC's films, they're just dark, gray, gloomy creatures, and you can't tell a difference between hardly any of them.
They got the orc factor. It's just like, it's scary, so kill it. Like,
One of
must
them,
be bad.
one of them looked like a gargoyle.
Yeah.
And the gluttony had the belly,
Giant mouth and belly thing.
Yeah, which looked like it came out of the game Diablo. But that was really about.
Yeah,
the
and then there
difference
was
is
like, the one was kind of gargoyle-esque.
One was
And the rest-
Sin of Flight.
Yeah. The Sin of Flight.
Yeah,
he didn't do anything
No,
else.
he
All of a
mostly
sudden he
was
gets
flying.
those claws, and he's like, that's intimidating, but it wasn't. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really confusing. I was like, Wolverine, right? And he
Right?
was like, oh, I've never seen that before. And I
Yeah,
was like,
when he said
oh.
he studied all these different things, I was really hoping that would turn into just like some little reference of just going like, that's like so-and-so.
No, just serious gaps in his knowledge, basically.
I got the one up on you.
Right. Yeah. I felt like a lot of the moments with the Sins felt very just kind of posse. Like, it almost felt like the bad guy it was like a biker gang, and like they were just there to like loom and intimidate. But they were supposed to be like the embodiment of sin.
Yes, they could have been.
I was expecting them to start corrupting people.
They could have been
like,
anything.
and they were just
They
henchmen,
were
basically.
Right.
That would go
Yeah,
do
they're
things.
literally just standing over there going,
I thought one of them was Venom because they all have like the long whippy tongues. I'm like, this is just a color, like drain all the color out of Venom, and that's him now. Because like they all had like the weird wicked tongues going around.
Yeah, it was very Venom Demigorgon-esque.
Yeah.
Okay, just scary to be scary, but I have no real background to you.
And have you guys seen the Umbrella Academy?
I kept thinking about that so much.
We're about 3-4 episodes in.
Okay, well in the first episode they show the kid goes into the bank robber and he like
It's the same scene.
takes
Without
all
the blood.
all the villains
Yes.
and they just like it's frosted glass and they're just slapped up against the glass.
I didn't think
Where
about
did the
that.
guard go to? Who saw this happen? Did he run out of the building and call somebody? He just kind
Oh
of
yeah, he was
disappeared.
immediately running out and like.
The only person that saw everything was
Frantic.
Santa. Like, that's it.
Oh my god, that was funny at the end of saying it.
That's good. The guard did a really bad job preventing that guy from getting in there, and then he had about 10 minutes to do something about it, and then was still just standing outside, and that was he's a pretty bad security guard.
That was it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, even just having had, okay, now we hear something happening in there, and now while that's all happening, now we hear an alarm going off in the background, to at least, like, as the viewer, like, okay, we're rooted in some reality that this guy has now done something, people are aware of, like,
I would have
oh,
loved.
conference room 3 is being blown the hell out right now.
Like, someone just flew out of the damn window.
Yeah.
And
We're
they
gonna have
didn't
to
send
cancel that lunch
anybody
meeting.
up. Yeah. So like, I would have even liked to see like maybe like an internal like security team come up and he just takes them out, like just kind of throws them.
Right,
Or even
exactly.
that, yeah.
Like to show his power.
Like,
a little
one
bit.
fell swoop, boom.
Yeah. No.
Half a dozen guys are gone.
He just gets in the elevator and punches the screen because it said the word family.
Yep.
Yeah, it was kind of cheesy.
Yeah, it really was. It was like really like. Overall, I think the movie was fun. Like, it actually surprised me in a
It
lot
was
of places.
absolutely fun, yes.
It's not perfect, but it's still, I think, better than a lot of the other DC offerings we've had over the past however many
I
years.
mean, I could see what was going on, so that was enjoyable.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, okay, turn down the brightness about 75%, boom, put a gargoyle statue there, we're great.
Yeah, everything was at night in a carnival, so yeah, it's like a nice
Yeah.
mix of all this stuff. I also want to point out Savannah's dad, whatever his name was the guy who played Lionel Luthor in Smallville, Lex Luthor's dad.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, it's his name's John Glover, so I was looking at him the whole time, like, I know who this is. But, like, again, that whole family relationship didn't feel real.
It didn't
at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt very forced. That like
It was a scene to
we're
be like,
gonna
look,
put it down your
you
throats
don't-
that
I also feel like it was
he
like
has
a
issues.
yeah. I just felt like the issues that were there for each of the children were never. It wasn't even like addressed when they were just being the family themselves. Like the parents just seemed way more lenient than I would assume
Yeah.
for like foster parents. Like
Yes, it seemed more
like,
like,
we ran away
not
too.
that their
That's not
parents
okay.
like, oh, we're kind of their bigger brother and sister, and,
Yes.
and just like we'll reprimand them, but we're still trying to let you have fun.
he
but-
looks like he'd throw up a shaka bra. Yeah, Joe, when you go to school.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he would. Jerry would
Yeah.
for all the Walking Dead.
But you're right. Like they never touch on like why these kids are there, like what their insecurities are either. Like the girl who got the college letter, they never touched on that again.
yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
whole scene
They are
about
trying
like
to fit a lot of relationships though into a very short
And
movie. That's the only thing that a lot of times movies struggle with is you have all those kids, you have the parents, you have the mom thing, you have the two bullies, you have the villain, you have all these people that are trying to fit into.
I feel like at that point, because there were so many relationships and all of those people had very kind of parsed out lives, you should have gone one way or the other. Like, just totally not, like, we're not going to give everyone their full backstory and all their relationship connections.
Right.
Or we're going to have to really lay into it and build this as something that's got meat to it.
And that's a problem a lot of movies suffer is they try to fit all this stuff into like a very
they took
short
the middle
time span
road.
and they can't actually do it.
didn't
And
get
then
anywhere.
you're right. And then you
It's
just
like
have
they're trying
characters that aren't formed enough.
Right. So, like, you're telling a Sandlot story with all the back history of Lord of the Rings. Like, you want people to be relatable and likable, but then you also got to be like, magic.
Again, DC has this problem that they want the Avengers. And they're going to build a group of superheroes no matter what.
Then for the love of all that is holy, please just cast the same person for one role for like more than 3 movies.
Well, or at least give a character a single movie to themselves to care about that character.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, Shazam is honestly at the end of it, like, he was the strongest character in that because you kind of felt for him. You see his growth as Billy Batson and Shazam.
I mean, had there not been that growth at some point, I would have been let down.
I loved the twist with the mom because I thought it was so bizarre that this mom would just lose her kid in a crowd and just not ever find them and revealing it.
But I also felt like it was telegraphed. I'm like, she either has a different name that he doesn't know about, like she changed her name, or like, she did it on purpose.
Yeah, I didn't saw that again.
Maybe it was going to be like a Spider-Man 2 thing where, like, the dad now is a part of a bigger organization, and he was the one that connected to Shazam all along. Like,
Amazing Spider-Man 2,
Oh.
the briefcase. Well, thank God it wasn't.
Yes.
let's all just.
I concur.
Let's thank God it wasn't. But at no real point did I feel anyone was really in danger either.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing.
No, I didn't either.
Like the only person who got a little bit of blood was Savannah with the batarang. Like, the kids didn't even get roughed up. Like, every time they chased him, they were like, they're going to kill him, but they don't. They're just tussling with him for a second.
The only people that got really fucked up was the board. The company board.
Yeah.
They got put out windows. And they, from what we could see, all died.
And those bullies got their, whatever, wedgies.
Oh, they got really big wedgies.
Yeah.
When they were flying around.
Yeah.
They got
Wedgie comeuppance.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the flying sin, that one took and saved those 2 other people that were on the Ferris wheel. There was another couple, and he randomly grabs them, but then they end up getting saved. So technically, that demon went over there, grabbed those people, and saved their lives. Because it would have fallen, and they really only had time to save the bullies. So that demon was one of the heroes.
Put a scare on them. Like,
But it's like, scared you. There you go.
Maybe that was lost. Maybe that was lost. He's like, I love these people.
Maybe they said something really nice, like, you smell
I
really
envy
good.
them for having disposable income to come to the fair.
Support small businesses.
Yeah. They did. They went to that strip club twice in this movie.
Right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I think I had a lot more fun with the montage of becoming a superhero than I thought I would, because I thought we'd seen a lot of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they didn't kind of give it all away in the trailers.
Yeah, I didn't think they let him shoot him with all the clips in the grocery store or the convenience store. I was like, oh, they're gonna keep shooting him.
Yeah. The fact that, like,
It just kept going.
Shoot him in the face.
Yeah, point in my face now. Oh wow, okay, they are gonna do that.
Yeah.
I thought, like, they established pretty quickly they couldn't shoot him, so there are other people they could shoot, and I was like, I'm surprised they're not shooting the people that they clearly can shoot in this situation.
Yeah. Like the
But
kid,
they are
like,
wrong,
Right, they didn't see the giant man in a suit when they first walked into this place,
and
standing in the aisle.
there is a handicapped child that's like, shoot him, he won't get hurt. And
Right.
then you make the logical conclusion that you would get hurt because you're asking him to shoot him, so you could have shot the kid. I'm not saying you should shoot kids, but it's a superhero movie, they're not going to do that, but...
The kid had a
let's
very
just think about
scheming
what I'm
face, though,
Yes,
so it really
he's
confused
a
him.
schemer, exactly.
Yeah.
Schemers
Officer
get shot,
moron.
man, that's what it is.
But yeah, that was a good, like, okay, that's stupid funny.
Yeah, the little stuff. Actually, the cripple kid, when he turned into his like superhero form, was the actor Adam Brody, who was cast to play the Flash in a Justice League movie in the early 2000s by George Miller. There was a day before they were filming, and they canceled the whole movie.
Whoa.
I really like that you're looking at me while you say it.
Because I think they know. No.
I did not
I
know
didn't
all of
know,
that.
I didn't know that they cut
I
the
see.
whole thing.
Like they were
never
up,
happened?
it was up to the day before they were going to film, and they canceled the whole movie.
Wow.
So so Adam Brody get to come back as a superhero as that kid, and I'm like, this guy looks familiar. Oh my god, he actually looks like and talks like that kid too. So that was great.
They did a really good job with that.
Yeah.
Did not recognize Adam Brody at all, but then saw the name in the credits. And yeah, that was my.
When was that Flash movie supposed to come out?
Like early 2000s, or it was like the Justice League movie. In the
So
early
he got a
2000s.
second chance. Like,
Yeah,
wow, that sucks.
yeah,
At least he wasn't in Green Lantern, so that is a plus.
yeah. I don't
There
think that
is
Justice League movie would have done very well either.
Got it.
But I mean, overall, I mean, I think the thing I told Brian this yesterday. Superman was going to be in that movie,
I couldn't believe you called that.
and Superman was in the movie.
I did enjoy the fact that they very much like, okay, you're going to get about 30 seconds of him from maybe the neck down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this is obviously not the actor who plays Superman.
Yeah.
Uh,
This was a grip that we put a costume on, and
Yes.
he walked into the scene, and done.
They focused on the chest plate real hard, and I didn't know Superman was going to be in this movie. I didn't know why Superman would be in this movie. I didn't know its connection to any other
I did.
broader universe. So I was like, are they supposed to be boobs or something? Like, is this a female because they're focusing on the chest? That's weird. You don't do that, guys, typically, but it is Superman. I don't know. They're just focused on his chest. I was like, that's weird. Is this...
because they couldn't get the actor to do it. Like that's why his face wasn't in it. Henry Cavill, like.
And Superman is really identified by his chest plate.
Yeah.
On the
Well,
side,
just
but you can't see
the
his...
colors you're gonna know. You're gonna like
It was
even
blue.
the texture of the suit.
Oh,
But to see that little bit of plate, if you know, okay, oh, we're getting a tease, and now we see the reveal from the front. Yes, it's the S.
did not know
okay.
it wasn't until the front.
That's okay. Surprise.
See, movie's still paying off. You're still
Yes.
getting free content here.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
And then I don't know what to make of this, but there was a talking worm in the end in the jail cell.
I was really hoping during this recording I would get an explanation onto why there was a robotic.
I'm just wondering when the Alice in Wonderland crossover is going to happen, because
Right. Is he
Is
mad?
that
that
Brainiac?
little worm needs
No,
a
that's not
hookah.
Brainiac. Apparently, it's a character called Mr. Mind.
No, Mr.
Oh.
Mind.
Mr. Mind. M-I-N-D. Yeah, this is not a Pokemon, Greg. Sorry.
Oh, that's a bummer. I could speak to that.
That's his wheelhouse.
And his first appearance was actually 1943, Captain Marvel Adventures number 26.
Wow.
Yep, I don't know anything about this dude, so we're gonna have to look it up later. But he's just a
And like,
dimensional
he
worm.
had that little device on him. Is the device making the worm then like intelligent?
That's why I thought it was Brainiac. I thought maybe like he
Yeah, or
find
is then like the
something.
worm is from some other dimension?
It
or
is a
planet?
talk box around his neck, so he can communicate. He's from another dimension.
Okay.
Like Doug from Up.
Yes. And, like if you take the caterpillar from A Bug's Life and give it the box from Doug from Up,
But the writing from Ants.
and the doors from
Kingdom Hearts.
No.
That's
Monsters,
the visual
Inc.
director from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
That's-
from Monsters Inc. This is a Pixar
Oh
movie,
yeah,
guys.
it is. Oh my gosh, the
Yeah.
doors
Well,
are
It's
from
all the
Monsters
Pixar
Inc.
movies.
Oh, you were outside when we talked about that. We thought the whole time they was gonna,
Yeah.
they was
Is
gonna
this
open
the
up.
through line between Ants and A Bug's Life? Is this that what ties
No,
those worlds together?
We are totally missing Woody Allen's voice in this.
That's
So,
true.
and Sylvester Stallone. But anyway,
I got one question. Do you think the wizard was just bored at the beginning?
It kind of sounds
Like,
like
I'm really giving up on this defending
Yeah.
thing.
or
I need somebody to come here and be a defender.
Yeah.
I'm over that. I should do that again, though.
you think he just had fun trolling people? Like he's like, I know you're not gonna get it, but go on and try.
Yeah.
I mean,
all
that
those
does raise a
people
good
that he
point.
researched.
What about the people that are now, air quotes, mass hysteria?
Yeah, they did a lot to show that this process damaged people, and
Yeah.
very little to
Globally.
like, reflect on that. They just glazed right
That there was
over
some
it.
sort of like lab and corporation behind the corporation that was researching this.
And the magic door he got by watching the lady's phone video recording after studying it for 35 years.
Yeah.
But that's sometimes deadly, but only once.
Yeah. If you
confusing.
slam the
Right.
door, you're dead. But if you gently open it,
I would
You're
think it
fine.
was an unworthy thing.
okay, you've had to have been there before, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
So
It was
did he
kind
just
of
like?
there.
But those kids walked through the door, even though it was open. Why did the door disappear in the middle of it too? They couldn't go back out there.
I didn't
what
see
kind
what
of
the rule
Narnia
was for
shit is
that.
this?
Yeah, and he got out of there the first time, and they never really explained it. Even when they asked him,
He
like,
just-
"Well, how'd you get out of here?" He was like, "I don't know."
I thought about it. Thought about
Right,
the strip
yeah.
club.
Okay.
Went straight to the strip club.
So is that teleportation, or is it just the transfer between that realm and then the one that we're in.
And then they go back and put the ball back in. How did he get back there?
Right.
I don't know.
What's the science with these doors?
This was a fun movie, but man, it's so confusing when you think about it.
Like, I am curious now if, like, do his stepbrother or siblings, will they in the future have the power, or was it like just a temporary thing?
I think they still have it.
Okay.
So when those other scientists walked into the room where that one woman melted, did they see that she was melted? And what happened to the company after that? Did he just
the research man?
I don't know. Did he just sort of kill everyone? Did he lock them in another?
Oh, they all got a
dungeon?
severance, and they left.
They were all paid to not talk about the charred woman on the ground, and nobody ever spoke to them.
They're all subjects in a bigger mass hysteria survey now.
Speaking of that, when that scene happened, I could not help but to think of snapping my fingers and seeing that.
Which he
later.
dusted?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I about raised up and just did this, and I'm like, no one would get that.
That's what I was
leaned
thinking
over
the whole
and
time.
I did do that in the air.
Yeah.
I feel like as DC though, like we've run out of graphics for or visualizations of people just disintegrating. Like we've seen it done so many times now that it's just like, well, I guess it's all Thanos. Like
We've got this one really good plug-in, guys, for Adobe, so we can just click it. They're gone. That's
so
what
you can turn into smoke and you can crumble. Are there other ones?
yeah, it kind of varied on the way that it punished.
Is it just the degrees then? I guess.
I don't know. Well, X-Men had the guy who turned into water.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, so pick an
This
element.
is a genuine question. I
So
don't
you're just
know.
turning into. That's your ability now. Is you turn into carbon, but only once, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does anyone explode? That'd be cool.
Not in
We'll find
superhero
out
movies.
in Shazam 2.
Is anyone? No, the Extremis guys explode.
Okay, there you go.
Iron Man 3.
Nice.
Iron Man 3 had
Yes.
explosions. So
They do explode.
yeah, you pick it. Pick your fun.
gotta regulate.
Yeah, you gotta regulate. They were not listening to enough Nate Dogg and Warren G. We're not regulating. Is that what that means? Am I doing this right?
I'm gonna go with yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I expect a lot of people listening to this to be like, they are stupid. Like, we're going to get a lot of write-ins on this one, guys.
Cacophony of ramblings is going on in this week's episode.
Yeah. Or a bonus episode. I'm going to have my normal one where Mike's going to be rambling, and then we got this one where everyone else is rambling.
Nice.
So, you guys know how it is. So.
I mean, or we could have really just opened Pandora's box for your guys' content.
I should have Skyped in with him, because he's watching it tonight. But he's in LA, so they're 3 hours behind.
Yeah.
We have to wait a little bit. Shazam. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, I didn't like the actual second credit scene where it flashes back to the testing thing, and it's him trying to talk to Fish, which is taken from a commercial they've already put out.
I have not seen that commercial.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So I
because Aquaman had come out on DVD or digital or something, and they were like they put that out with it.
Okay.
So I feel cheated.
Speaking of the credits, I did actually enjoy just the credits as a whole. The cartoon,
The drawing, yeah.
like kid in class wasting time sketching. That was kind of cool. It just looked funny.
And it had all the other superheroes that
It
didn't
did
show up.
really reach to like, hey, we're in this DC world. Look, it's Batman. Batman's DC.
Yeah.
Remember Batman? He wasn't in this movie, but he's here.
Well, he was in the toy shop too.
Oh,
He
and
was.
kids' backpacks, and
And
they
if-
had like all sorts of memorabilia everywhere, which was something that kept making me wonder. Maybe
That's one point
why
I'm
they...
gonna really rip on because
Yeah.
they used like that second unit shot of the girl under those 3 pine trees outside of the school with the Batman backpack so many times.
So many.
It was like it is the same time of day. You can so clearly tell like all of those, just whoever was there.
Yeah.
They filmed it in a day, kept scrambling them around,
But they
film it
kept trying to
again. But just make sure that girl with the Batman backpack, she is front and center.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of irked me because I just kept seeing that and thinking like, okay, all these extras, like
It's like they
were
filmed
in
it.
for a day.
They filmed it in like our current world, like oh, you guys are wearing Batman and Aquaman stuff. Shit, we gotta tie this in somehow.
Yeah.
Because this is obviously post Justice League, but
Which I would assume so.
But they don't reference any of it.
There's
Everybody
a couple
was-
little like things where I did they mentioned like Superman and Batman in conversation.
Because the bullet and the batarang.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, but other than that,
And then he had the Aquaman shirt on while they were doing the video testing. They did not mention Wonder Woman at all.
I like how the kid had the one kid in an apartment had action figures of Batman and Superman fighting one another.
Oh, and the explosion! I did like that. That got a really good chuckle when he like brought the toys together and they actually like exploded in front of him. That was kind of great.
Well, right after that was also a pretty good scene where he's like, "Are you monologuing him? I can't hear you."
Oh,
like that's
gosh.
exactly what it was. Like exactly what it would be like.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, to take that like, oh, we as the viewer, no, they don't have some sort of like super powered voice that they can just hear and you know over miles away in the air. Yes, very very funny, very clever.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a PBS Deadpool. Like it's for kids. You're getting the message across that there is like a good hero there.
I love that label.
But I feel as though it's all watered down.
It was very wholesome.
And it's wholesome.
Yep.
Very friendly, family friendly. I mean, but you're still getting the good action. You're still getting effects that stand up. They're good. Like, but
And they
overall,
knocked on the fourth wall the whole time.
the whole time. Yeah.
Well, I think.
Oh, that's the wholesomeness, the PBS-ness about it. Really.
Yeah.
Well,
Other than
Nail
the
on the
conference room scene, that was pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
They're beating on glass
Those-
to escape, and then they get dragged
there
back.
are some terrifying moments. Like this movie starts with like him like freaking out in the
They
car,
did
and
have
then
a
the
couple
car
jump
wreck.
scares.
Yeah.
Like there are some scary. Like I
The
would, but
doors
like
thing was multiple jump scares. All those were there was 3 jump scares in a row.
Very
Just like,
true.
what's
Yeah.
this door have? Something bad? Like every single time.
I wanted to.
the alligators.
There should have been some more alligators. They were playing poker at one point.
Yeah.
That made me think like, what? Okay, are these other
Spoilers, Adam,
dimensions?
Jesus.
I don't know what that
Oh, I'm
was.
dropping those spoilers.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
waiting for
we-
Howard the Duck to be like, stop.
yeah, well, like I was looking for something maybe relevant or something we noticed later, but like there was something that looked like a creature out of Alien come out of the one door.
Yep. Face hugger.
Yeah, kind of like a face hugger. And I forget what was the other one. Just something screaming.
Yeah. There was one
Like
that
a
was just a
roar.
roar.
Yeah.
And
Like a
you
roar.
saw them like, whoa.
And they're like, no
Like
more
an
doors.
energy beam.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could have had a lot of fun with those doors.
that
And they
would've-
did for about half a second and then ran out of ideas or something.
I was
So-
hoping for a Scooby-Doo chase scene where they would get into
Oh,
that
no.
room, but they're flying. So the two of them are just
So
going,
Monsters Inc. yet again.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
But you know,
right,
with
the other.
super flying and stuff.
Oh, I was very much thinking in the vein of them all running in one door and then coming out of a different all down the hall, and then somebody comes out of a chest of drawers.
I wanted them to open all the doors in real time. There were about, 80 doors we saw in that. I think that would have been a lot of fun.
There's-
Like the room when he's standing in line.
I
with
was like,
flowers.
some of those doors are floating.
It was-
How are they getting up there? They have a ladder. They got like a
They'll
rotating.
just slide them up there. He flies them up, he opens the door, he throws them in.
Yeah.
They figure out how to get themselves out.
Okay. Well, the worm did mention specifically 7 other dimensions, which is why he said, I guess, 7 for each sin. 7's
There
a
was a
number.
bunch of 7s all over.
Yeah.
Even
the
the
mom's
for the
apartment.
mom, 707.
Yeah. 7 everything.
They wanted to keep reminding you that there's 7 deadly sins.
It was like
and that
they're-
they're very, very important.
It was always 7 o'clock, no matter where they were.
Oh,
It was
Mom
no, I
lived in
don't know that.
707.
They were watching the
Yeah.
movie 7 every time they viewed an apartment.
Which is for the 7 deadly sins again. Like,
Yeah, it was-
I mean, how many times did they visit 7-Eleven? Like, they spent like
At least
45
11.
minutes. At least 7
That's where they kept getting their groceries for dinner, and that was weird to me that they would shop at 7-Eleven.
yeah.
Because all the Dunkin' Donuts were destroyed by Superman. So
Yeah. I do want to point out there was a good theme though. Like Billy Batson lost his mom at a carnival and then found his family at the carnival at the end.
yeah.
That was
That's a
actually
very good point.
It's very subtle. It's not that's not on the nose, but like that's good thematically
Yeah.
around because I was like, why are they going to the carnival? Oh, see, this is
Speaking of themes,
Yeah.
I was kind of let down in terms of like the scoring of it. I really didn't feel like a hero's theme or
he had like a
That's
bunch
what's
though.
good.
There was like 7 or 8, and he never really got his name either.
yeah, I don't know. There wasn't a point where like, okay, bump, 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 bump. There's some sort of fanfare. Now we feel that like he has gotten his title. He has gotten his name. He is a like rooted character.
Mm.
It didn't, there wasn't even that like foreboding, okay, this is now the bad guy's music or something to that nature.
Their antagonistic relationship wasn't built up. None of the relationships were really earned. I think
but
maybe
that could have helped it.
maybe the crippled kid, Billy.
And Shazam, that was a good relationship that built up.
Like
throughout the
he
movie.
should have been the first one to get a power rather than all the other kids, the siblings. Like that would have been like, oh, he is like a crippled kid who can't do anything. He's just intelligent. Oh, now give him the powers,
Yes.
so he can actually do the stuff he's talking about, which would have been.
I almost thought the cripple kid could have been a villain. Like if any of them would have been like
Oh.
pulled to the dark side a little bit, I thought like maybe he would have, like if the other guy offered him powers or offered him a demon. I was like, oh, like that would have been amazing.
That's the cooler movie we will never see ever.
But then if he did,
what was with the one brother who failed his test and then threw it away? Like
that was his character development.
In the bathroom.
We only needed that so we could find a notebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was.
And you're right. That was his character development. He wasn't throwing away like a tissue. Like it was his failed test.
And, like, that was the only time we'll ever touch on that one.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not good at whatever subject that was.
His
He
entire
barely had any lines. Like
right. He specifically was set up not to talk, and then he found the notebook. He helped move the story. Isn't that like a MacGuffin? He's a MacGuffin, right?
well, so we didn't have to pay for
Pretty
the
much.
SAG card.
Yeah.
If you have so many lines, and then you have to get your SAG card. So
right.
they were really avoiding that. Like, dude, you get one under, and that's it.
Yeah.
Those feels.
Couple words there. I'm trying to think like other things in this movie that really there's not really a lot that stands out.
The seats stood out. The theater had nice seats.
Oh, the theater
They were recliners.
We always talk about our theater going experience on shows, and recliner seats.
I'll just segue that over the net for you.
Yeah, thank you. We got second row really wasn't too bad either. I was worried about second row, but I never felt once like we were.
They spaced that theater really well.
Yeah, no. Once you had reclined, I was kind of worried too. That I was like, this is a lot closer than I normally like to choose. But my theater doesn't have reclining seats like that, let alone powered. So that was kind of awesome.
Yeah, and then Roberto didn't have his ticket till like an hour beforehand almost. So that was
still in the same row, just at the tail end.
Showed up. It wasn't as full as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people knew about it. Because everyone I've told, they're like, "How did you know about it?" I'm like, "It was on Fandango's app."
Yeah.
I got no hookups.
That was the thing is Fandango did not get enough of their branding into it, which was actually really surprising.
Where was the trailer with the paper bags that talked about Fandango a bunch?
Yeah.
Or did they stop those in like 2003?
See, I thought they were going to be superheroes tied into the movie. Because bags can fly. Like, you get caught up, in an updrafted bag, you can fly around. So, like, that seemed like an easy connection to turn them into a superhero. Remember when he's like, just gotta think about flying. And those bags could just fly in.
Just a paper
and they already know
bag in the background. Yeah, boom.
Very American Beauty.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was thinking American Beauty as well. But now it's paper bags because it's Fandango.
Yeah.
It's not plastic bags anymore.
And it's 2019.
Yeah.
You gotta protect the environment.
Yeah.
Katy Perry starts singing it. Like, do you ever feel? And then,
Yeah.
it'd be perfect. That would work so much better.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up, but I did feel there was a severe lack of Katy Perry pop songs in this movie.
Good, somebody else.
I didn't want to have to be the one that opened the box. Like,
There it is.
I mean,
There it is.
me and Brian talked in the movie about a few ways they could have done this. So
I
one
heard.
of them was every time, why wasn't the word just Fandango?
Yeah,
Like,
why wasn't the word Shazam just digitally removed and Fandango
or they could have
put in?
added to every Shazam brought to you by Fandango.
I was going to say, like, a really just hard cut Shazam brought to you by Fandango. And then we're back into the action.
And the Cripple Kid could have went over the entire history of Fandango.
They could have cut it like for TV with Fandango commercials every 10 minutes. So you make sure you get.
See, kid, 2 paper bags flying into each other, and then the superheroes come in.
That should have been the end
superheroes.
credits scene. That would have been if Fandango just came in as a brand new superhero.
Yeah,
Just like
that's-
just
let's
landed and was like Fandango.
leave it out of the realm of possibility for DC.
He should have been giving people movie tickets to their phones instead of charging them. Like, you got tickets, you got tickets, you got tickets.
Oh, we're breaking so many walls in that.
Yeah.
And you're coming to see this movie, and you're coming to see this movie.
He's not Oprah.
What? Yeah.
Your kids were all really good, so we're going to give you tickets to a movie sponsored by Fandango! Yay! Don't run away.
Yeah. Fandango sponsored your adoption.
I will say though that the wholesomeness was the refreshing part for DC.
Yes.
I would say because I mean we get it in Marvel all the time, but that's a flavor that we're pretty used to. I mean, even when I saw Captain Marvel here recently, that was one of the things where I was just like, I've seen most of that. I've seen most of that in other movies, but this felt like a very solid childlike adaptation. I mean, it made me want to be 12 so I could be like, oh man, I remember what that felt like. If there was just a switch that could turn it all on, that would be
Well, not
amazing.
being entirely saccharine about it.
Yeah.
Well,
It'll be wholesome.
Right.
Yeah, and actually, you're just making me think because usually these things have a romantic connection in something, and when he moves in, and he sees Mary, there's definitely that moment where it's like, oh, attractive girl, my age, whatever, and then they never really pursue that, and then it turns into the family thing, which is
kinda glad
which is
that they
wholesome,
did,
I guess.
yeah.
Most of these things have to have some sort of relationship sort of coming back, but then they were just like, you know what? You're my sister, and not you're the hot girl that was in the family I'm now becoming part of. So that was nice.
He did every chance he was Shazam, he tried to pick up chicks though.
He did.
He was like, yeah, you're a girl my age.
But as an awkward
But
14-year-old,
Yeah.
Right.
it's funny.
If you turned into Zachary Levi with muscles, I'd be walking around
Right.
saying the same thing. Be like,
And
hello,
you did-
everybody.
Right.
We're the same age.
And you didn't have to circle back on any of those relationships. So you get involved with
Yeah.
Mary, that's the thing. But,
If it gets
you
really
know.
bad, just Shazam, and you're out of there.
It's
Shazam
getting
you,
awkward.
Shazam
Hey, check, I gotta Shazam out of here.
And this was set in Philadelphia, right?
Yes.
Okay, because they had the Rocky steps, and they kept referencing
Oh, yeah.
the Rocky
That was
theme
one
with
of
the
the better-
lightning
that
bolts.
was one of the better
He was
jokes,
even
yeah.
playing Eye of the Tiger on his little speaker when he was shooting lightning.
Yeah, yeah.
That was pretty good.
I mean, when the what is it like Jefferson Head fell from the top of that
Oh, yeah,
building,
under the love.
you did hear like a big bell ring in the background. But okay, let's lean into that Philly thing a bit
Yeah.
more.
I thought the big reference in the mall was kind of forced too, like where he landed on the keyboard.
Oh,
Which was big
oh,
with the kid
yeah.
and
Oh,
the
yeah.
adult body. I was like, it's a
But I
kid.
did like that he just ran right at him then.
Yeah.
Just as he's going up to
They
that.
didn't play a little ditty and try to be cute about it or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll give you like 5 seconds to make that catch.
You're in
Oh,
Philadelphia,
and
you're
he's a
big,
kid.
and you're
Ah,
big.
okay.
Tom Hanks, where is he? We know him.
He's here. He's in this movie.
He's somewhere. He's a background actor. Maybe he was Santa.
Oh my gosh. Wouldn't that be
the-
amazing,
the
though, if it
Santa
was?
They were really going for it with some Santa on screen.
Oh, I
there.
felt
How
bad.
how did the Santa go from the mall to the carnival? That was not a connected
I've never
sequence.
seen a Santa at a carnival. Yeah, that's a good.
It was the
point.
same
I
one.
mean, it was
Well, the
English,
mall was
yes, it
destroyed.
was.
He had to go somewhere else to do his Santa
There are
shit.
two things
so...
to do in Philadelphia. You go to the mall or you go to the carnival.
You go to the
Carnival,
carnival
yeah.
Santas? They're really big in Philadelphia.
I feel like maybe he was just a carny, and like he was never actually Santa. Like he just talked his way in there because he kind of looked like him, and he was just a little homeless. Like they let him
you're not
in. They're like,
entirely
"Oh, here,
drunk.
try this
Come
on."
run
The
the
other guy he
machine.
called in. Yeah, he was just sitting there, just drinking the whole time. It's like Bad Santa, except with superheroes.
Yeah.
Or he was real Santa, and that's magic. They kept talking about magic. Magic does everything. Real Santa is magic.
Wow.
Yeah,
Way to
Magic
believe.
himself
Yeah,
over there.
thank
Yeah.
you.
That's deep. That's a deep
He's
cut.
just like any other superhero.
Just cut back to the wizard, and
So,
Santa was like, "What the heck is going on, man?"
When does he get written into the DC world?
Oh,
If he's
that's a
got the
great
magic.
question. I would refer to Chris on that one.
I don't read DC.
Tim Allen.
I don't-
Whenever
Yeah.
Tim Allen signs up, I think that's when he's gonna go.
Ooh, yeah, he's got to fall off a roof first.
Yeah.
But we can't besmirch that.
That's
movie.
that's Justice League 3. They got to get through one of them first before they recruit Santa into
It's
like.
Justice League 3: The Escape Clause.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that is-
With the
Jingle
K,
all-
the
jingle
claw
all
with
the
the K.
justice.
Jingle all the justice.
Yep, that's the one.
That's gonna be
He
exciting.
needs the toy of himself for him, a kid, which is him.
Oh yeah.
So he then becomes the superhero. It's very, very
This is
layered.
ironclad.
It's like a Looper thing, right?
It's-
Something
oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Wasn't this also a Schwarzenegger movie where he had to go chase?
Jingle
Oh,
All the
yeah,
Way.
that's the one.
Oh, that's the one.
That's
okay.
the one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Similar suit. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm saying, it's,
Holy cow.
We give it to get down to that last layer. Have a taste.
It did give me some Iron Man 3 vibes being set at Christmas. Like where all these superhero movies set at Christmas. They're not all, but those two are.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
When I first saw him coming up to the house and it was Christmas, I really thought that was going to be just one time his signature. Like I thought he would get the powers and
There'd be some time
there would be
lapse.
some time that he had to figure things out, and then he became, this streetwise little savior. But then the big things would happen, but it all happened really quickly. It was like in a
Or
matter
did
of
they want us
Like
to
a
be
week.
like, this is happening within a few weeks around Christmas?
That's kind of the feeling I got.
We'll leave it ambiguous as to how long, but it's
Yeah.
all right around Christmas.
Well, it couldn't have been too long because like when he ran away the first time, they're putting up the Christmas tree.
It's
And that-
true.
And that was still like the wreath and all the presents were there when he still
Yep.
kidnapped
Yep.
the kid. So
Yep.
it had to have been like right there.
We're right before. We're
The
right
Santa
before
Claus
Santa's
was still
big
out,
day.
yeah.
I mean, he was out. He wasn't delivering
Yeah,
yet.
it wasn't post Christmas. But
This is true.
This is probably we're filming and it's cold out. So how are we gonna spin this? All right, make it Christmas time. Just
It's a port
We didn't
situation.
realize how
This
cold
is a
Philadelphia
port
is.
scenario.
like we
entirely.
have to work this to our favor.
We get about 25,000 puffins on this island.
Let's turn them into something that we can sell merchandise with.
Basta, it's done. Print
Yeah.
it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about Shazam. Ending thoughts. We'll go around the circle, Adam.
Ending thoughts. I would say it is a 7 out of 10 in terms of just fun popcorn fluff.
Mm-hmm.
I maybe wouldn't go see it again, but it was fun.
All right, Brian.
I thought it was a fun superhero movie. For DC, that's a huge breath of fresh air. So I enjoyed that. Move in this direction, DC, if nothing else.
Greg.
I enjoyed it. So there's that.
Greg laughed the loudest in the theater. I didn't get to say it on the microphone yet, but he did.
I did laugh the
And
loudest.
I loved it.
There were moments that really, 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 really resonated with me.
Yeah.
As an aspiring
The strip club
superhero.
parts.
There's funny. I got a pretty blue collar sense of humor sometimes, so those moments really stuck out to me. But it was fun to be 14 again and want to be a superhero, and that's everyone's dream, right? And to land at a strip club twice.
Twice.
So
Yeah.
4 out of 10.
Yeah. Berto?
I definitely think that it was more than I expected. I felt like it was going to have to be all fluff, but it actually turned out to have really solid moments in there that surprised me, and the action itself stood out. I mean, the scenes didn't seem as sporadically choreographed. I mean, everything with the monsters were still just fighting monsters, but it still felt more than what I expected coming from a Shazam story, coming from literal wizards and magic. But yeah, I mean, I think I would give it like about a 6, but maybe 7.07 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
7.
I'll show myself at the
You
door.
can't hear this, but my head's coming off and tipping in that direction.
To him, yeah. I think I'd agree. I think it's a fun, innocent movie. Out of that, it's got the fun innocentness that DC has lacked over the past 6 years. And while we have sit here and kind of ripped on it quite a bit, it's really not that bad.
No.
I just wouldn't sit and think about it too. It's not going to change your life. It's not going to change your world in superhero movies.
I'm not mad. I paid to see it.
You're not offended?
Not offended.
There we go. He's not offended. You guys heard it here. But I mean, to me, it also suffers the fate of being, right after Captain Marvel, which is made over $800 million and has more action in it than I think this does. A little better action, because the gray monsters are with the weird superhero kid family is a little much at the end. But everyone is obviously waiting for Endgame. And you're like, this is just kind of that fluff on the way there that you're going to see once and not come back to.
Yeah. It may have been a bit of DC, like, hey, we do superhero stuff too. If you want to see something else that's kind of superhero before, April 26th, just come see this real quick.
Yeah,
just give us a few dollars and you'll see it.
I think their next movie is Joker in October with Joaquin Phoenix. And then probably the Birds of Prey movie. Sure. And then Wonder Woman 84. So they had to put something out, or we just forget they ever existed.
Ooh, yeah.
So
this is also a really good movie if you have a grandparent or a parent who has never seen any superhero movie. This just kind of covers all the bases.
That's a great point.
Very good point.
Very approachable.
Yeah, it's not. You're not confused a whole lot of the times. Like,
it's a superhero starter pack.
Yeah.
An old man with a stick gave him powers.
Yep.
Awesome.
Got it. I know
Magic,
wizards.
I know what that is.
Yeah, and he
Kids looking wholesome.
he's
fantastic.
So it's like a Superman origin light. Like it's not the exact Superman's not magic power, but like if Superman just got his powers one day, this would be what it would be like all around.
Fair point.
Can he fight? Can he do laser beam? Is he fireproof? The kid set him on fire, not knowing if he was fireproof.
That's why I thought he could be a
he
villain.
told him to shoot in his face, not knowing he was face bulletproof.
He was he was going all or nothing on that, man. I was like,
no matter what, it reconfirmed that kids are dumb. So we can all.
But if I think back to 14, I think I really believed that I was invincible, but had nothing to back it up.
14,
so.
we're all probably at our dumbest. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, 18 years later, I still don't feel
We've all gotten fractionally better.
I just haven't lit anyone else on fire, so I feel like I've gained something.
Well, there was that.
Oh,
but not a lot.
You're missing out. Guess what we're doing tonight, guys? So, well, thanks for listening, and thank you guys for being on the show, the Superhero Slate, this bonus episode.
Thanks
Thank you for having us.
Hey, yes.
And we'll do it again next time.
I dig it. It's a day.
Shazam.
Shazam.
And I still don't know anything about superheroes. So clearly, I don't listen.
That's great. You're gonna be our Mike.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.